Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea. Former review of the West Ham versus Chelsea game. I got my prediction right. I got my predicted lineup right. I'm happy. So we did end up winning the game 2-1, which is obviously, the most important thing is the 3 points. Obviously a bit annoying to concede a goal again because I haven't kept that many clean sheets over, recent times, but it doesn't really matter as long as we win, does it? Anyway, getting into the game as I usually do, starting off with the lineup, as I said, like I predicted, Thibaut Courtois in goal, Gary Cahill, David Luiz and Cesar Spilicueta, Victor Moses and Marcos Alonso as the two wingbacks, and Cesc Fabregas kept his place in the team next to N'Golo Kante. Hazard, even though after he got kicked in training last week and he was a bit of a doubt according to Antonio Conte on Friday's press conference, started the game obviously up front with Diego Costa and Pedro. Going into the game, it didn't start off that great, if I'm completely honest. We just couldn't get a passing together. It's not like West Ham were dangerous, like not in the slightest, if I'm completely honest. But we just couldn't get a passing and we just couldn't get our attack together. And I think with our first chance at all, like I think the first chance we even got into their box, we made it 1-0 in 25th minute through Eden Hazard. And what a counter-attack that was. I mean, my words. So West Ham had a free kick. Lanzini hit it straight against the wall. It fell over to Noble out on the right-hand side. Kante got the ball off him, played it to Hazard, who went on a run, played a 1-2 with Pedro, played it to Pedro. Pedro just passed it back when Hazard continued his run. Went past Randolph, put it in, 1-0, easy. What a counter-attack. We're just so good at that. I mean, we know we are, and we've been for years. It's not like just in Antonio Conte, we've been good at that. But, obviously, a player like Kante helps so much in that, the way he won the ball back. Not every player would have won the ball back there and the way he did. And then, obviously, to two players like Pedro and Hazard, really quick, really good in finishing and obviously in dribbling. So, great stuff. Just before halftime, we had a massive chance, 3 massive chances in a row to make it 2-0. A silly mistake by whoever played right back, Kante. Hazard went through, squared it, like put in a low cross to Diego. Diego just missed the ball. He was kind of too quick for the ball. He was just ahead of it and couldn't, turn backwards and hit the ball. Fell to Moses, who had a shot. Got blocked by Cresswell, who actually picked up a slight injury by blocking it. And then Pedro had another shot, which was saved by Randolph. So that was obviously annoying. But 1-0 into half-time. And not long after that, we made it 2-0 to Diego Costa. After the corner, Cesc Fabregas put in the corner. Got a slight deflection, I think, by a West Ham player. Fell to Diego in the 6-yard box. He literally it fell on his thigh and just bounced in, really. I mean, I guess he did make a movement to put it in, but it literally just fell on him. So, obviously, massively need a goal at the time because 1-0 is always dangerous, especially in away games. We've conceded a fair few 1-0 equalisers recently. Against Burnley we did, against Swansea we did. So it was good to get that 2-0 in. And, later on, Randolph pulled off an incredible save after an effort by Diego Costa in the box. Shot, pretty much on the turn. Good shot as well. Incredible save. Fair play to Randolph. Could have been 3-0 and possibly should have been 3-0. Then substitutions obviously started coming about. Matic coming for Pedro, which obviously meant we switched to a 3-5-2, as we do a lot when we're, comfortably leading in a game. In the 75th minute, Willian came on for Hazard. Hazard looked like he was feeling his thigh, his hamstring a little bit. Not injured, I think, but, just precautionary, and maybe he was a bit tired because obviously he picked up that kick last week, so maybe he wasn't at full fitness. So I'd rather take him off and him being completely fit against Man United next week. And then just a minute later, Zuma came on for Moses, which obviously meant Azpilicueta moved over to the right wing-back side, and Zuma was part of the, centre-back 3. And then, really annoying, 92nd minute, we conceded, the 2-1 obviously. Lanzini, just silly defending. I was already writing down notes for the review, and suddenly, bloody hell, they scored. I think it was a throw-in. I'm not even 100% sure. Then Fabregas was in a challenge with a West Ham player. It just fell, luckily, to another West Ham player, and we were all over the place. Suddenly, Lanzini scored. Luckily, nothing else happened after that, which is obviously the main point. But obviously, always a bit annoying when you concede a late goal, when you could have had a clean sheet. But, the main thing is that we did 3 points after pretty much all of our rivals. One on the weekend, Tottenham, Liverpool, City. I mean, United drew to Bournemouth, and obviously Arsenal lost to Liverpool. But, it was important to get that win and restore the 10-point gap to Tottenham, obviously with City still having that game in hand. Talking about players more individually, talking about Courtois, first of all, it was a good performance, especially, catching of crosses and punching away crosses, obviously dealing with the aerial threat of Andy Carroll. Same goes for the three centre-backs that dealt with it really well. Even though it was also down to Carroll's movement was just off today. I think it only happened once. They was actually up against Aspie and Moses on that side. Usually he ended up being up against Cahill and Luis, which is obviously a lot more difficult for him, and his height advantage isn't a factor anymore. But against Aspie and Moses, it obviously would be. So that was obviously silly. They put in a lot of crosses where he just wasn't in the box yet because he was just too slow and moving. So not lucky, but just not a great performance by Carroll, to be honest. Moses, really good. Actually, forgot to mention it earlier. He pulled off an incredible goal line clearance when there was this one part of the second half where they had a lot of, we were just a little bit stumbling. It was just an iffy moment. They had one or two chances after each other, and can't remember who had a shot, but anyway, Moses cleared it off the line, which is obviously important because if they obviously got the 2-1 earlier, it would have been way more of a scrappy game, I think. Alonso, could have scored, could have got a penalty because he was taken down just when he was about to score, or when he almost scored. But good performance generally, good defensively, decent going forward. Fabregas was kind of invisible today. In the second half, he definitely gave us control of the game, as he does with his passing. But in the first half, his long balls didn't really come off. Also defended really well against, Pedro and Hazard, who made the runs. Kante, incredible. One risky misplaced pass, which led to a chance of West Ham. But, the amount of interceptions he makes is always incredible, really. Hazard obviously scored the goal, which was a really good goal. He did a lot of running. Same goes for Pedro, even though, he's usually, in most games, he's just not that flashy as Hazard. In some games, he just pops up with incredible goals or, assists, but he's not as flashy as Hazard. He doesn't do those fancy things, the fancy runs, fancy turns, as Hazard usually does. And Diego, he really just got a goal. Other than that, it was terrible. Being completely honest with you. Whenever he started dribbling, he lost the ball. He took way too long to get rid of the ball a lot. And then whenever he did end up passing it, he got blocked or intercepted. So, not great, but all that matters is scoring goals. And that's what won us the game, So, I can't complain. But that's really it for my review today. It's weird, we won the game 2-1. It's an away game, but there's not a lot to talk about. There just weren't many chances, if I'm completely honest with you. So there's not a lot to talk about. But yeah, leave me all of your thoughts on the game down in the comment section below. Who was your man of the match? Mine, I'd say, I can't really choose one. I guess it's just Hazard because he was generally good and he scored a goal. Could give it to Kante just as well. But yeah, difficult one. But leave me your man of the match down in the comments below. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the button and you will be subscribed. I massively do appreciate that. Getting us close to the next target of 30,000 subscribers. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.